Hi everyone. This is a brief introduction to progressive supranuclear palsy, or PSP. So the name of PSP gives us a clue about the condition. Progressive means that it continues to worsen over time, similarly to primary progressive aphasia. Supranuclear refers to the site of damage, and in this case, it's damage above the nerve cell clusters or nuclei. So we're looking at brainstem and above structures that are affected. And palsy means weakness or problems with muscles. This rare neurodegenerative disease gives challenges to an individual's balance, vision, and speech. And common symptoms include this list that I'll read out for you. They include falling backward, slowed movement, trouble with walking, stiffness, difficulty with voluntary eye movement, dysarthria, dysphagia, and changes in behavior and cognition. This can look like apathy, depression, impulsive decisions. And the reason that some of these are bolded is that these are more specific to PSP, or kind of very characteristic of PSP. Falling backward, there's a difficulty with knowing where you are in space, and so there's a tendency to fall backward. Difficulty with voluntary eye movement, whether that's sustaining eye contact or being able to focus your vision on a particular spot. That can be really challenging for people with PSP. And then dysarthria. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but these are points that you would look for in PSP. And I think that we could also bold dysphagia as the disease progresses. People might tend to aspirate as they experience these challenges swallowing, and that can lead to pneumonia, which can be fatal. It's a rather serious condition. The prognosis is discouraging, as one doctor put it. And it just continues to get worse until someone passes. It's a fairly rare condition. There are 6 in every 100,000 people over the age of 60, and it's virtually unheard of in younger populations. The mean onset is 65, so again, the older adult population. And because people with PSP have some symptoms that are similar to Parkinson's disease, it's sometimes misdiagnosed, so the prevalence might be a little bit higher than what is reported. The cause of PSP is still unclear. There's a buildup of a protein called tau in the brainstem, the cerebral cortex, the cerebellum, and the basal ganglia that cause the symptoms that we reviewed earlier. But whether this buildup is because of an environmental exposure or a genetic predisposition, that has yet to be determined and is still unclear. It's related to motor speech disorders because dysarthria is a really defining characteristic of PSP. It's typically more severe than dysarthria associated with Parkinson's disease and is a mixed dysarthria with hypokinetic and spastic elements being most often present, and occasionally having some ataxic dysarthria symptoms or signs or salient features, but that's less common. The characteristics include dysfluency, a decreased slow rate, inappropriate silences, deficits in vowel articulation, and harsh voice quality. My questions for you can go simple or complex with this one, are how do the symptoms of PSP match with the structures affected? So thinking about those areas of damage, how could you match those to those symptoms? Or compare PSP to Parkinson's disease, or what differences would you look for to distinguish between the two? If someone presented with stiffness, trouble walking, dysarthria, that's hypokinetic in nature, how would you distinguish between PSP and Parkinson's? And lastly, here are some sources if you want to read more about PSP. These are really informative and engaging content. So if you want to explore some more and you feel curious, here are some sites for you. Thank you.